So you downloaded a password manager. You followed the advice, and honestly, you're doing the right thing. But there is a very good chance you've unknowingly introduced a massive single point of failure into your digital life, one that could actually be more dangerous than not using a manager at all. Now let's dive straight into this explainer. Look, this is definitely not an argument against password managers. I use one, and you should absolutely use one too. But today is all about the hidden, everyday ways people use them that completely cancel out their security benefits and exactly how we can fix every single one of them.
Before we get into those vulnerabilities, here's what we're going to cover. First, I'll show you the most common mistake password managers users make, a mistake that can turn your entire vault into a single point of failure. Then we'll look at why two-factor authentication on the vault itself is far more important than most people realize, and how it can stop an attacker even if they already have your master password. After that, we'll talk about browser extensions, the convenience they provide, the risks they introduce, and the simple steps you can take to reduce those risks. We'll also cover the cloud sync question, how to audit your current setup in just a few minutes, and which password managers make sense for different types of users. By the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly how to secure your password manager properly and avoid the 3 mistakes that completely cancel out its security benefits.
Section 1. The Master Password Mistake. Defending the Single Point of Failure. Okay, think about how a password manager actually works. It basically replaces your own human memory with one highly encrypted vault. And we need this, right? Because we are notoriously terrible at remembering unique, complex passwords. I mean, the most common password globally is still, shockingly, something like password 123. So relying on a manager fixes that bad habit completely. But it means every single vulnerability you have now flows entirely from a compromise of that one master key. If you use a weak master password, like a real word, a pet's name, a birth date, it can absolutely be cracked. Just look at the 2022 LastPass breach. Attackers actually managed to grab encrypted vaults off the servers. And for the users who had weak master passwords, the hackers just ran dictionary attack tools, testing billions of combinations against those stolen vaults until they hit the jackpot. The result is a catastrophic chain of failure. The vault decrypts, and every single stored password you own is exposed at the exact same time. But a strong master password, we're talking 16 or more completely random characters or 5+ random words mashed together, that keeps the vault completely encrypted. Even in a massive breach, your data remains totally useless to the attacker. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is, make it incredibly strong, write it down on a physical piece of paper, and store it somewhere safe. A strong password you can't remember is pretty much useless to you, but having a physical backup is the ultimate safety net.
Section 2. The 2FA failsafe, locking the vault door.
So what is the absolute best way to stop an attack dead in its tracks? It's fixing vulnerability number 2, not having two-factor authentication on the vault itself. Notice my emphasis on the vault itself here. Most managers out there support 2FA on the main login, but it's wild how many people simply never turn it on. Imagine if your master password is ever compromised. Maybe you fall for a clever phishing attack, maybe there's a keylogger on your laptop, or maybe you reused a password. If an attacker gets your master password, they still cannot access your vault if two-factor authentication is active. They would literally need your physical phone in their hand to get in, so enable it today. But a quick caveat, make sure you use a dedicated authenticator app, not SMS text messages. SMS can actually be intercepted by bad actors, whereas an authenticator app requires literal physical access to your device. It is a total game changer.
You know, there is an uncomfortable truth in cybersecurity that nobody really likes to say out loud. A password manager is a single point of failure by design. Before you used one, an attacker had to painstakingly compromise each of your accounts one by one. Now, if they get into the vault, they have the whole shebang at once. But don't let this scare you away. A well-defended vault is infinitely safer than the alternative of reusing the same weak passwords all over the internet. It just means that a strong master password and Vault 2FA are not optional little extras. They are the entire security model.
Section 3. Browser Extension Risks, Managing the Attack Surface.
Now we're moving from how you lock the vault to how you actually interact with it online every day. Most of us use a browser extension because, let's face it, autofill is incredibly convenient. But think about it. That extension needs permission to read pretty much every page you visit just to detect login forms. This significantly increases your attack surface. It shifts your vault from being completely local and offline to something that is constantly interfacing with the live, messy web. Now, reputable extensions aren't malicious, obviously, but a compromised browser or some other shady extension you installed can be a massive threat. So here are 3 essential everyday habits to mitigate this risk. Number 1, install the password extension in only one primary browser. Just don't install it everywhere. Number 2,
For high-security accounts, we're talking banking, email, investments, manually copy and paste those credentials from the desktop Vault app instead of relying on the browser's autofill. And number 3, keep your browser constantly updated. Actually, scratch that. An outdated browser isn't just a threat, it's often a far more common vulnerability than the password extension itself. Update your software, people.
Section 4, the cloud sync question, convenience versus control.
All right, this brings us to a big debate. Where does your encrypted vault actually live? Most managers sync your vault across your phone and laptop via their own cloud servers. That means your encrypted vault exists on their computers too. Let's break down the trade-offs here. With standard cloud sync, you get massive convenience, but it does introduce a server attack service, exactly like we saw in that LastPass breach. Then you have self-hosted options. These give you decent convenience, but you are the one completely controlling the server. And finally, offline options. These require you to manually sync your devices, but they offer absolute complete local control. No cloud at all. So what's the verdict? For 99% of users, a cloud-synced manager with a killer master password and an authenticator app is absolutely still the correct choice. The convenience ensures you're actually going to use the thing. But if you have an elevated threat model, maybe you handle highly sensitive corporate data, the self-hosted or offline setups are definitely worth the added complexity.
Section 5, the 4-step security audit, securing your setup right now.
Let's make this super actionable so you can lock down your digital life right now. If you already use a password manager, I want you to run through these 4 steps as soon as this explainer is over. Step 1, maximize your master password strength and write it down physically. If your current password contains real words, your name, or a date, use a generator to make a completely random one, write it down safely, and then change it. Step 2, enable an authenticator app 2FA on the Vault. Just dive into your account settings and toggle it on. Takes 2 minutes. Step 3, fix your top 10 weakest or reuse stored passwords. Almost every manager has a health report or a security dashboard. Use it to hunt down those culprits and update them. And finally, step 4, delete dormant accounts. Old accounts you haven't touched in years are quiet, lingering vulnerabilities. If you aren't using an account, close it out completely and delete the entry from your vault. Don't just leave it sitting there.
Section 6, choosing your vault, the best password managers.
So, the inevitable follow-up question I always get is, okay, which one should I actually use? Let me give you a quick recommendation framework. For most people, 1Password or Bitwarden are just fantastic options. Both have been heavily, independently audited. 1Password has an incredibly clean interface and makes sharing Netflix or Wi-Fi passwords with your family super easy. Bitwarden, on the other hand, offers a fully functional free tier, is entirely open source, and even allows you to self-host if you want to get nerdy with it. Now, if you want maximum control and zero cloud component whatsoever, KeePass XC is your go-to for complete offline ownership. But listen to me carefully on this last point. What you absolutely must avoid is using your built-in browser password storage as your primary vault. The encryption is simply weaker, and it's heavily exposed to browser-level attacks. Only ever use your browser storage as a temporary holding space, not your main vault.
All right, let's bring the whole thing together. 4 habits, 3 vulnerabilities closed, 1 incredibly robust security system, a strong master password, 2-factor authentication on the vault itself, a browser extension limited to just 1 primary browser, and a routine vault health check. Honestly, applying just these 4 habits completely closes the gaps we've discussed today. They transform your password manager from just a neat convenience tool into a genuinely impenetrable security system. You are finally taking back control of your data.
Which leaves us with one final, absolutely critical question to ask yourself today. Is your digital vault truly locked, or did you leave the key in the door for the dark web? Fixing these single points of failure ensures your data stays yours. And speaking of where compromised data actually ends up, our next explainer covers one of our most requested topics, the dark web. We're diving into what is actually on it, what the media gets completely wrong, and what is genuinely dangerous to you. You won't want to miss that one, so be sure to check it out, and I will see you there.